Is this going to be the first North London derby in how long where both teams are going to go in feeling pretty confident? Like both teams, because normally for a few years, last few years,
I'm so glad.
You guys have been
chemistry. This is exactly where I was going to move on to. You
guys have been pretty good, and we've been struggling. And before that, for a few years, we were good. You were struggling. So the pressure is always on the team that's doing well. As opposed to, it's weird, in the North London derby, they don't look at the team that's like doing badly and you have to win. It's like the team that's doing well has to stay consistent.
Maybe 4 or 5 years, we've been kind of playing this ugly win now football, if you like, just trying to figure out life post Pochettino. And then you guys have been going through your process, if you like, and in a weird way.
Don't inverted commas process. Don't.
I'm putting it in quotes because that's what you guys call it. I don't call it a process. I just see it as manager doing his job. Do you know what I mean? Like, process.
I was about to garnish everything, innit?
Sorry, man. It's the North London derby. You know how it gets. But no, I just feel like, as you said, I think now it's two teams that are going in a good trajectory. I think I don't want to get too carried away. It's just 5 games.
He's carried away. He's carried away.
There's been a lot of work that's been needed to be done. Change of manager, the overhaul in the squad, the change in the playing style. And I think you've seen kind of some of those implementations happen very quickly. Now, we're nowhere near the finished or final product or whatever, but we've seen promising signs and won games that we've needed to win. You guys have now almost seen the fruits of your teething periods and all your rough periods. You've kind of gone through that and come out of the other side. So for me, you guys are way further ahead than we are. But as you said, I think this is actually both teams are coming into it high spirit. I think both clubs are loving their manager. Both clubs are loving their players. It's like it's a feel-good atmosphere at the moment. Oh my God, Troy Deeney has popped up with his hat-trick there. Sorry, I've just seen there.
But Notts County
third minute, but Notts County are still leading 4-3 in that game. It is goals galore today. So keep an eye on that one as it's coming in. But honestly, I think this is going to be the most exciting North London derby in a long time. And purely because of both teams playing very attacking football, it could go dangerously, I think, for either or. But then at the same time, I think, as you said, there's a good feeling coming into this. But I think the home and away record is the thing where I'm kind of looking at it like,
Because the quote always is in this game, form goes out the window. But neither of us want form to go out of the window because we're both on good form.
Let me just read you a stat as well. Tottenham have won just one of their last 30 Premier League away games at Arsenal.
That means you drew one.
11, losing 18, and are winless in 12 since a 3-2 win in November 2010.
Oh my!
2010 was the last time we won at the Emirates. So for me, this and the Tottenham Stadium was the similar case for you guys up until last season. I always feel like those kind of jinxes are there to be broken, which is why I'm kind of hoping you lot are a little bit over complacent, if you like, and coming into this game thinking, oh, what? These lot, let's cave their chest in. And then it's like, give you a little something, catch you cold. You know what I'm saying? But what is your kind of feeling coming into this? Are you concerned about us, or are you just literally thinking, no, we're going to be the perfect team to burst that little bubble while they've got it going?
I think my concern is also for ourselves. We're coming off the back of the 4-0 against PSV, and we were sourcing. I don't know if you guys saw the game or not, but we were doing flicks and tricks, and like Gabby Jesus missed a shot he probably should have scored, and everyone turned around and started laughing. Like he was just laughing, he was just loving it. It was so chill. But we haven't actually been playing that well. We've been grinding out 1-0s. So we've been winning, but not playing that well. So that was a really big confidence boost for us. I think you guys, it's Udogie and the central midfield, I think, is probably the most competitive parts of our teams. Udogie's, like, every time I talk to you, I tell you he's so good. I think he's so brilliant. Obviously, he's going to be up against Saka, who's also brilliant. So that's going to be, I think, a key battle. And we don't know how we're going to line up. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jesus start out on the left and maybe Trossard up top, because I think Trossard is one of the best strikers of a ball in the league, and I think he needs to be central, and Jesus for the legs.
Because Martinelli's missing.
Martinelli's injured. No Martinelli, no Partey.
Big losses.
But then we've got Rice. I'd like to see Reece Nelson play. Maybe Fabio Vieira steps in. We've got so many. We're very, like I said before, we're very tactically flexible. So it means we're never quite sure how the manager's going to set up.
Personally, I feel like the game, honestly, is going to be won or lost in that midfield.
Yeah.
I feel like our midfield has been almost like 3 new signings you could look at. Basuma, complete different player from last year. Pape Sarr similarly came in last year but didn't really get much breakthrough. Maddison has come in like one of the new signings of the seasons, honestly. So I'm literally banking on our midfield to kind of really see that. And the matchups as well. You've got Maddison versus Rice, Odegaard versus Basuma. It's like, all right, this is actual prime. Even like Saka versus Udogi. Like there's so many matchups in this game where you're like, I actually can't wait. Okay, Zinchenko talking about, when my winger go, I go inside. Is he gonna follow me? Let's see what.
Are you doing, Kermit the Frog?
Hey, I was just doing the Zinchenko accent. Sorry, but no, honestly, I feel like there's so many matchups in this, but I feel like that midfield is going to be so crucial, and I'm curious to see who actually lines up as that.
Because your midfield's actually more settled than ours.
Yes, and
because we don't have a dedicated 8 yet.
Havertz starts in this game for me because this is the kind of game where Arsenal fans might think, he's going to get that goal away. But I'm like, this is the kind of game where you don't want to play him, where you require the dogs to be let off their leash.
If he starts, I'd rather see him start up top than.
And I want to see physically imposing from Pape Sarr and Basuma what they've been able to do to United and some of the other midfields that they played. Yeah,
stop us playing our football, and it's one of those games that's it's going to be played in waves. So I'm just going to go for the first 20 minutes, stop them from playing their football. You can pick up a couple of yellow cards, that's fine. Just stop them from playing, and slowly we'll start to play our game and start to get Kulusevski in behind, Son in behind, and we'll start to do that later. But at first, just focus on stop these guys from dominating the ball. But it's going to be super unpredictable, and I think we can kind of enjoy it from the perspective that it's coming so early and we're both on such good form that it shouldn't derail whatever's happening. We've still got plenty of time to get things back on track. We obviously have Man City in a couple of weeks as well, so now with no Rodri and hopefully Calvin Phillips, so it's important, but we don't have to put too much on it. We can.
I slightly disagree.
I don't know.
What? You don't think this game is that important?
It's important, but I don't think it will derail us. We haven't been playing that game. No, I don't think it's not a must-win. It's not a must-win.
Let me just go. I feel like this game is a must-win for you. If anything, I would say it's not as important for us.
As long as you don't get battered.
Yes, for me, it's like
Bayern Munich basically. As long as you don't get battered. Yeah.
No, don't put us in the same bracket as you, man. Please.
You better hope you lose 4-3 because you could be a 4-1.
If you've had a 2-0 down in 20 minutes, it's peak for you. It's ugly.
I fully agree, though. In North London derbies, you have seen the first 20, 30 minutes is usually the game where it's decided. So for me, that is going to be so important. But I don't know. I just feel like this game means so much for you because, one, you haven't been playing that well. This is almost like, okay, you've flexed your muscles against PSV, but now you've got Spurs who are thinking they're good. Can you actually show that same kind of performance that you've shown in previous years where maybe you've not even been as good and you've still been able to win a 3-0 or win 3-1? It's like, so for me, I feel like this game, you guys almost have to come in and impose yourself as setting the bar as title challengers. For us, it's like game week 5 and into a new project and, okay, we've had some easy fixtures. This is actually like our first big test, if you like. And it's a game where, as you can see the stat here, bro, we've won 1 in 30 times here.
Yeah.
The last time we played, the last time we won, it was 2010.
Yeah.
So the chances of us winning here or leaving here with like a great result, virtually impossible. So for me, it's like the pressure for us to win this game
do you think that Ange will come in and
there's
and
so
push?
much to lose. If you do lose this game,
Yeah.
what it means for you lot then is, I think it's bad.
But
because it's like you haven't been playing great. You now lose to a Spurs team who you guys were all saying, it's easy fixture list or whatever. And it's like, you're meant to be setting the bar
other than that
challenges.
Game. Other than that game. It's not easy fixture list. You got you guys and then City 2 weeks.
No.
We've had an easy fixture list.
Got you.
Coming off the back of our easy fixture list, you were supposed to be like the serious team that stops us. And if you lose at home, that record, the rivalry and everything to us, this is a major L.
On top of that, you are going for the league title this season. Don't get it twisted.
100%.
Man City are 6 out of 6. You've already dropped points in 1 game. Are you going to be 5 points behind or 4 points behind after 6 games?
No.
So that's what I'm looking. Even if you were playing, I don't know, Fulham, it's a must-win game because Man City are 6 out of 6. Not because you're playing Spurs. That's added on top of it.
Yeah.
But you can't afford to fall any further behind.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what the point I'm making is that we will address this game just as another game, not as a North London derby.
I get that.
The derby part for us is very much on the back burner because we're looking upwards and not downwards. So that for us is like we can just go out there and play our football and not worry too much about the derby aspect of it. But there will be an element of like we've seen in the documentary where Arteta said, in this derby, the fans will love you. You go out there and you hit people with challenges first 20 minutes, and then they will just support you and help you out through the rest of the game.
I think this game could go two ways. I think Arsenal could actually blow Spurs away, or it's going to be a very, very tight game. I can't see Spurs go in there and playing their football in a way that allows them to be
I think
the
they know
dominant
that.
side.
Yeah,
they might play their football, but that's going to leave them open in a way a PSV will open. Of course, they're better than PSV, but the way that PSV will open, because we didn't beat you lot in the second half, you completely dominated. But we should have 2 goals in that first half. Let's say at least, but we should have 2 goals in that first half.
Yeah.
If Arsenal get the chances that we got in the first half at the Emirates.
The thing I'm excited about is our bench late on in the game when we have Nketiah, Havertz, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, all to come on. Maybe even Trossard. Maybe he starts Reece Nelson out there. There's a lot that we can do. So if we are struggling in whatever way, we are so flexible to actually for Arteta to look at the game and bring something on, and he'll do something that's very unpredictable. From Andrew's perspective, he's very difficult to read, whereas a couple of years ago, it was very obvious what he was going to do. But now it's much more difficult to read and to set up, so I'm confident going into this game.
No, fair. What will you go in prediction-wise for this game?
3-0.
That's
Yo,
painful.
let me
deep,
know
that's
your
deep,
predictions in the chat as well,
deep,
please.
that's
I felt like that was a backhanded slap.
that hurts. I wasn't expecting but 3-0. You know, never won.
I'm saying it's not a big fixture. It doesn't mean that much, but yeah, we'll win it 3-0.
I'm praying we can leave there with something. I'll take a 1-1. I'll bite your hand off right now.
Of course you would.
I'll bite your hand off.
But the thing is, even when we're not playing well, we tend to, if we're playing our football, we tend to score 3s and 4s regularly. So unless you man are going to come and really put pressure on us and bag 2, you will not be able to come to the Emirates, score 1 and leave with a point. You'll need to score more than that because we're a very free-flowing team.
One thing is
I think
you often concede the Emirates.
We might concede early. Like if we don't concede in the first 10-15 minutes, then I'm calm.
Good.
Then I'm calm.
Game done.
Do you know what I'm saying? but I don't think they'll set up to come and press. They're not like a Southampton or like a relegation team where it's like, guys, we've got to get out. Because if they do, I don't know if they do that because that leaves them. If they go 1-0 up, we win 3-1.
Because I think it is a bit of a free hit for Spurs. And obviously, it's never North London derby is never a free hit, and they don't want to.
It's as free as it can be.
As free as it could be because they've got a new manager early in the season. They've started the season well, so there's no pressure on them, no pressure on the manager, nothing like that. And they're going to the Emirates where they never win. So
the expectation is very low.
Exactly. So they can go out and do that. And if they're 2-0 down at half time, people are like,
I just think that obviously I know that PSV are not Spurs in terms of the ability and the technicality of the team, but the mentality that we've seen of Arsenal bottling things and falling apart mentally, where the stage seems too big and the occasion seems too big. There was none of that. This is your first Champions League game in 7 years. This means everything to the club. This means there was none of that. These guys walked around and the way they played is like they'd won it back to back. They were just swanning around and laughing and enjoying the occasion.
Shout out Lives in the crowd. Doing up tears at the Champions League anthem.
That was too funny.
Act like you've been there before, brother.
Quickly as well. Jay Jester says Arsenal 4-0 to
Let's go.
4-0 guaranteed.
Let's go.
Big up Just Vibes for the super chat.
David Raya hasn't conceded a goal yet.
Big up Just Vibes for the super chat. He says Fuad is him. Talent ID, ball knowledge and dreads. Come on, man. My guy. Big up Bad FPL Advice for the super chat as well. Great name. Saturday football show from South Africa, home of the oldest solar calendar. Jeez. There is a poll in the chat as well now, just gone up. Arsenal win, Tottenham win, draw. What do you think it's going to be? Let us know